Hey Aquarius, this is Joy with Joy of the World, here to take an intuitive peek into the world going on around you. Subscribers, welcome back, and if you're new to this channel, click that subscribe button and out beside it ring the notification bell and you will be updated anytime I post new videos. Also, if you find you like the content here, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and share it with those that you love. All right, Aquarius, so we've got some stuff going on here. We got an inverted rune card coming in. And it says lack of clarity, futility, a waste, timely clearing out the old. All right. And by the way, you can tell I'm in a different environment. I'm out of town for some brain therapy, and this is the place where I'm staying. So I've got kind of a unique little setup here, and so I may be a little dodgy going for cards. It just depends. So I appreciate your understanding and patience with that. But so you're back to the reading here. Lack of clarity, futility, a waste, timely clearing out of the old. And so what do we see coming out? Look at that, an inverted pot of gold. You feel like, what? Excuse me? I got to put out? Well, yeah, there's some stuff coming out, and it's why. Over here we have number 19, rest and rejuvenation. You're feeling a little put out right now, and you're a little miffed. It's like there's a pouty face going on. It's not like a pouty face. It's more like a fatigue, a tired, kind of like a doldrums, like well, really being put out. It's like, why? And trying to get some understanding. But along with it is coming in number 45, man holding a heart. There's stuff yet to be revealed, but what they're saying is in order to receive, you need to pay it forward. You need to play, to step on in. And maybe you've lost a little bit of that playful attitude, right? A little bit of that pouty face coming in. Capricorn, we heard that they had lost their loving feeling. And many of us, this COVID thing's been going on for a minute now. And how do you rejuvenate and restaurate when you're kind of in this very plateaued state? It's like, how do I refresh that? How do I bounce back from that? It just feels like wall ball, like, what's that, racquetball, again, except you're playing on your own by yourself. And you're a little tired of that, but hey, look, we've got some things coming in here, but it is focus on yourself first. Tune in, dive in, and offer it up. Make the effort to let new energy come in, let new mindsets come in, even though you're not able to feed as readily off the environment around you, of being able to pick up on that divine energy that is innate and natural to who you are. You can still tune in to the skylight. They said the sun streams and those sort of things. The delicates and the dainties is what they're hinting at. Don't ask me, we'll find out as we go. And that brings in card number 29, loyalty, the red crowned crane. It said you were getting away with yourself and you're being carried off. You've lost sight of your golden moon. It's like the radiance of your own beauty, of who you really were and are. It's kind of, I think you're feeling more of the ripple of the earth in the world and what the world is going through, the heart of the world. But they're wanting you to remember your individual experience, tuning into your individual feelings, that somehow they seem to have been swept up in everything going on. And that has been part of the being disheartened and kind of that being swept away in that heaviness. Okay, so let's see, how do we do that? How do we, as Aquarius, how do we get back into that golden moon, into understanding our own self, our own feelings, and our place in this? Whoa, hang on, we got a flipper. Got a couple here. All right, I think no. Okay, you're not coming out. So under the red crown crane, we have the Ace of Cups and the Four of Discs. So I see you being swept up. Not swept downstream, swept up. And brought into this divine knowing. But it seems to be like a dissonance with your heart and the way you're feeling. So you're finding it hard to get on the same page with yourself right now. That there's a bit of a disconnect. And that's because, okay, for many of you, you're experiencing the heart of the world, not just the heart of the world, the heart of humankind. It's been getting a little heavy, and you're a bit disturbed at this moment, and you're more in the watery part of Aquarius. Now, I know you'll say Aquarius is an air sign, but no, it presents itself as a watery air sign, which is very plasma. and it's bypassing more of your intelligence and getting down to your instincts. So it's stirring, for some of you, it's stirring in your Aries, and that's bothering you. But I can tell you this, last week, I believe I posted a video on Mars, Chiron, and Lilith. Go take a look at that. And I think that'll tap into some of what you've got going on here, some of these energies. Because Lilith is like that dark moon. She's wanting to get some of your attention to deal with those deeper things that are brooding underneath, that you're like, there's a bit of a thunder queen, like stamping her staff on the ground, wanting to be made known, okay? Tell us a little bit about this Thunder Queen, okay? About this Ace of Cups and the Four of Discs, about being swept up. So you've been swept up into, well, but many of us are going there. We're being called more into our primitive state, into our gut instinct to get back to there. And that's what COVID has done, is it has slowed things down and almost driven them backwards. It's not just the retrogrades, it's about becoming rudimentary, which could seem like to go backwards, to regress, but really it is progressive in the sense that everything is fundamental and foundational. And they're saying you've almost lost your connection to the foundation and the fundamentals. Therefore, it's almost just like a clanging gong and noise and like self-propagation going on, as opposed to divine connection. And Aquarius, that's not just a word for you, that's for the energy of the world right now, okay? That's what they're wanting to let you know. Pardon me, there are many winged creatures that love to nibble out here in Alabama. Let's get something on this. Hang on. There they are. Two more. Okay. Let's go with these first. All right, so we have the Devil and the Star. So we're here clearly saying we're being tempted to forget who we are. Okay, you've been kind of lured away from the plumb line, from your standards of your quality and condition of life, of the way you go about things, and your steadfastness. Sorry, more itches as winged creatures. Your steadfastness and determination, it has been halted, like motivation, momentum has been lost, which could make sense at the pace and the speed that you're comfortable with, that keeps that soul lifted, that really keeps you channeled more in this energy that is very Aquarian and keeps you moving along in that starry quality that you are. But they're telling you here in this star, from this Affirmators deck, which I love, by the way, to really shoot for the stars, to remember to take your aim again, to remember who you are and where you come from, okay? Clear out the old, which is great, because long before common stores existed, people got their yeast from the air in order to bake their bread. So you would mix together your flour and your water, and if you had a little bit of sweetener of sorts, you would mix that in there as well, because yeast loves to feed upon that. So you would just drape it lightly with a cloth and let it sit for several days, and the yeast would take on into the mixture and begin to grow of its own accord, all right? So that's how you leavened your bread, and when you would mix it up, you'd always pinch off, kind of like there's mother and vinegar, you'd pinch off like this baby, this lump, and set it aside, bake the rest as your meal for the day, and then regenerate from that lump, because more creatures. You wouldn't have to wait days in order to get that to grow. That would then produce overnight, and you would be able to use it again the next day. There's just that first initial process, which seems to take a little bit longer because you're starting fresh and new. And that leads us back to this, where it's talking about timeliness of clearing out the old, okay? But the thing is eventually it becomes not just sour like sourdough, it becomes kind of rank, kind of stank, and other things can take up in there, unsavory things that can kind of undermine your health a little bit. And so although you have been on this great incline of the way you did things, of communing with the stars that we see here, and of really in your divine intelligence, this changing about of having been carried away and lost sight of your golden moon, you get to find your way back to you again. And this time, finding your way back, you can make mental notes and you can share with others the process of how you get there. And it'll be relevant to people other than just Aquarius. That's exciting. I like that. Yay you, yay us. All right. I've got my Jupiter and Venus. I think they're like 1 or 2 degrees apart in Aquarius. Let's see. All right, this one's having trouble being held onto. It wanted to be inverted. It is the Six of Pentacles. And they're wanting this divine, they're urging you, okay? They're telling me to use those words. They're urging you to push forth into this divine connection. But it's okay. It makes perfect sense. So, okay, so imagine that these golden stars here are you, right? This is part of your pot of gold. You have treasures stored up in heaven. All of your work, all of your belief, all of your feelings, look, it's still there. It's still there. So they're kind of saying in this time right now, get creative, Aquarius, and find the way back to yourself. Reconnect with yourself. Do divine work from both ends. Aspire, okay, and reach up and reach down and reconnect. I see. Look at this little armadillo. He ain't balled up because you're not vulnerable or nervous. You're like bringing in the sheaves, just stepping out and celebrating and being abundant like you are. Does it feel good to remember that you're abundant and that you're beautiful and fantastic? You are. You're that shining star. And you are like, look at this. You like all she, all zen out, relaxed, at peace with all this. That's the part of you that's still up there. Reconnect with your divine self and remember who you are. Look at this beautiful star again. I know this is the Queen of Wands, but this is you being in your power. It's about you being at peace in your heart. So when you reconnect, that's what they're letting me know, because look at the green of this card. You're reconnecting in your heart, which makes perfect sense, because that's what was going on here. That asp, okay, that poison, that bite, that disillusionment, and like with the disconnect, really threw you off. It threw you off your game, but that's how COVID is here for. It is the shakeup, regardless of the arching reason why it's here. We need to know our internal reason why it's here, and it's to get that freshening, the yeast, the leavening, about the levitating, the rising up again. Because when you lose something that you cherish so much and it gets restored to you, the value and appreciation and the don't covet though, okay? Because that would be kind of like, that'd be like kind of covering this up. Don't do that. So remember to stay fresh, open, and bold, okay? But let this rejuvenation, let this star quality build back up and grow. And remember, once you do, that's kind of like the heart going on here. Pinch off that little heart, that little lump, to be able to make enough to share, okay? So let's see if we have anything else coming in. Okay. We're going to use a little bit of Cosmic Tarot because y'all are so cosmic. Any other words for Aquarius about this sharing of their heart and reconnecting with themselves? Hang on. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Did it? Give me a second to peek. It totally flipped, but I've got to see, did it return? Interesting. That was okay. So, oh, there we go. I was about to say you're making pretty quick work of this if you're able to turn it that quickly, which you are. It is in the flicker, in the blink of an eye. For you, it's simply a mindset, an attitude adjustment. And that attitude wasn't really, remember the big pouty fronty face? It was really that mindset to be able to flip it and turn it around, okay? They're like, dive down to yourself. So remember where you came from. Climb that ladder, that stairway to heaven, and step on up, because I love this. I see why they wanted me to use it, because in the Cosmic Tarot, to me, the world is the most Aquarian card, even more than the star. Take a look at who you are in the Milky Way. You're the bringer of the dreams. You are that plasma state that kind of got a little distorted here for a minute and was stirred up in a way that made you uncomfortable with how things were going, that really put you in that closed up armadillo state where you weren't connecting with yourself in your abundance and who you really are, in your cosmic qualities. And they're saying, look down on yourself. Shine that golden light. Remember your golden moon? Shine down on yourself. Put your favor on yourself. Speak well of yourself and well of the situation going on around you. Begin to think positive thoughts towards the world and what is going on. Do not grow weary, for in due season you will reap, okay? So let's see if there's anything else for y'all wanting to come out. Cosmic Tarot for Aquarius. Oh, there it is. All right, Four of Wands. And it's going to return. Full foundation, the whole roof, the full support is going to come right back into the house, into your house. I wonder what house your sign is in. Take a look at that and take a little peek into it, okay? and see what's going on there. Do that for yourself. And let's get a card for how Aquarius is going to step forward into these next few days with this rejuvenation, this springing up, clearing out that old and starting fresh and new. But exactly as you are, your beautiful divine self. Remember, look at that. The cosmic world, the cosmic star, beyond the stars, the whole universe. The whole universe. There we are. 2. Angel of balance in the world. Okay, so we got the world in the world. We got the world in the world. We've got 29 and we've got 48. And you're going to restore. When you come back this time, you're going to bring your treasures with you. Because you're like, well, since I'm going here, I'm going to bring back the good stuff. Since I'm coming for a while, kind of like where I'm at, I'm coming for several days. So I packed a little bit more heavily than I usually would, because it was going to be more to my advantage than my disadvantage. And that's what you're saying here. You got to bring in your whole divine world. Look at this. Ancient treasures. See that elixir? That's the new, the fresh wind, the fresh fire for your belly. Look, can you see that? Bring it in, birth out a whole new generation, a whole new way of being. And I think that's the beauty that we're needing to usher into our world right now. This divine love, this magical love, this you're worth it love, the restoration love. If we don't find ourselves worth it, to dive on in, to like swing up and to plunge into ourselves and reconnect with ourselves, then how could anybody else feel worthy or valuable for us to connect with them? It starts with ourselves and what we practice with ourselves, and reiterating in the way we live, in the choices that we make, in those type of values. Those values about ourselves is what makes us valuable. We're innately valuable, but moving from potential to actual and practicing what we believe, that makes all the difference. So, okay, Aquarius, I've enjoyed this little tromp through with you. I'm going to sit back and listen to this as well and take some of this wisdom in and apply it to my life. Until I see you next time. Bye.